by 2-0. They have 3 games left to play. They've nudged up to 81 points. Their most, incidentally, since 2008. And they've gone within 1 of Manchester City, of course, now have that 1 game in hand and the superior goal difference. That is a 12th away win all season in the Premier League. The first time Arsenal have done that in 18 years. And overall, Righty, that was a commanding day.
That was a magnificent performance, magnificent win at St James's Park. The Newcastle side have hit form at the right time trying to go for Champions League themselves. For us to go there at this stage with that team and play like I thought we would. We're going to play how we play. And Newcastle started well. We saw it off. We kind of silenced the crowd a bit. It's brilliant experience from what happened to us down there last season. And you know what I mean? We said at the start of the game, you know, how will they respond? Well, that's how they've responded. They've learned from that. And they've come here and they've put on an unbelievably professional performance at a game and against a team that are on top form. It's a brilliant result for us.
Yeah, you can see what it means. Newcastle reflection on that game?
No, I don't think Newcastle can have any real complaints. Best team won on the day. I thought it was a terrific away performance. We wondered what Arsenal were going to turn up, what reaction it would be to last season's performance, and we saw the answer. They rode their luck when they had to. A decision went their way, but they did enough to win the game. I thought Arsenal thought they were the better team. Yes, they had to rely on Ramsdale once or twice with a couple of magnificent saves, but you're always going to have that at Newcastle. You're always going to have to put up with a fast start, and Arsenal did that. So yeah, they deserved the 3 points today, and they did what they had to do.
Yep, and as we said beforehand, right, all they can do is their business and just keep asking the Manchester City question.
Exactly. You know, they deserve it today. They owe it to themselves to finish this season off well. I think that no one expected Arsenal to be where they are. We were happy with the Champions League, we've got that. But the fact is that what they've done up to this point, they deserve to finish the season well. And that's why you go places like this, really tough at the start, really tough game, and they've come through it. Because they've got the character and they're building the character and a winning mentality that's going to see us through, hopefully, in the future.
Yep, statement win from Arsenal at St James's Park. Only the 3rd visiting club to win there since Eddie Howe took charge of Newcastle in the Premier League. Much more from Alan and from Righty to come, plus all the reaction from...
Ah! Yes! Come on! Come on, Arsenal! Yes, you're right, Jim, it's not done! It's not done! Yes! Yes! Come on! Yes!
Look at our space.
This is a top performance! Look at our space!
I think the message from Righty is loud and clear. It is not done. I think we heard that.
Ooh, it's not done.
We're happy with that performance.
To be honest, Al, it was like I said, it was a great game for us, especially the first goal. But, you know, listening to people saying about the boys of like the experienced players have not turned up in games, not done well since we got knocked out of Europe, simply because of a few hiccupy results at a time of the season where people are putting under pressure. I think that kind of result, going to that St James's Park at this stage of the season against a Newcastle side in the best form of the season at the right time for them and beating them, is an unbelievable result for us.
You need a sip of water. Have one, and we'll get some reaction from inside the Arsenal dressing room. Jorginho, and first of all, the captain, Martin Odegaard.
Guys, well done. Martin, every question that's been asked about this team in the last few weeks, did you answer them all and more with that?
I think we chose something special today. To come here and win is not easy. The way we did it as well, we had to be very smart. We have to be a bit ugly at times, and I think this is a big step for us, a young team coming here and doing all the things we do. I think is shows we've come a long way.
Jorginho, how are those legs?
Kind of. It will be better tomorrow and the day after, I think. But the most important that we go home with 3 points. That what we wanted, and we know this league. We know sometimes we can't win every game playing beautiful football the way we want. And I'm really pleased to see the our team can play this kind of games, understand that sometimes it's not possible, it's not easy to go through just with passes, and sometimes you need to fight. And I'm very proud of the team, the way it fought into the end.
They certainly did, and they took the lead, of course, after that reversal of the penalty in the first half. 15th of the season without a single penalty for Martin Odegaard.
Brilliant season. Cesc Fabregas levels, talking him, how great he was, but you could see where, and that going through the legs has caused Nick Pope all sorts of problems. You can see it here. You see Joe, he should have been already on his way out there. He should have been there, so then by the time this gets to Odegaard, or you dissuade him from passing it to Odegaard, you're closer, not close enough, and then bam, that's enough. That's enough time, that's enough space.
I thought Arsenal's midfield were really good today. When you go up against Bruno, Joe Linton and Willock, particularly at St James's Park, you've got to be brave, you've got to be strong, you've got to be ready for the fight that you're going to have. And I thought they stood up to it really well today. Really impressed with their midfield.
Newcastle did start both halves very quickly. Second half at 1-0.
Yep.
Again, a little bit more composure. There were fine lines today, weren't there? Start both halves very quickly. Second half at 1-0.
Yep.
Again, a little bit more composure. There were fine lines today, weren't they?
Yeah, there were, but when you get your chances, you've got to take them against the best teams, and Newcastle didn't today. They started really well, they hit the post. I thought tad unlucky with the penalty being overturned as it was, but then you get chances again in the second half.
This one.
Then this one again. I mean, yes, that's a really good save, but it should be in the back of the net. It's a good ball in. Look, you're in the middle of the goal. You can go either side of the goalkeeper, but you go basically straight at him. And that was the difference when Arsenal had theirs. I mean, that is a wonderful tackle as well from Xhaka, wasn't it, coming back all that way? Willock's just about to pull the trigger there. Last-ditch tackle, and I thought they did really well there midfield.
Yeah, Arsenal saw Newcastle hit the woodwork in the first 3 minutes of both halves, and then this sealed it in the end. Cher was involved at one end and then ultimately Wrighty at the other.
Well, this is what I was hoping that Arsenal would do. You can soak up the pressure. You know that Newcastle are going to continue to come, and then try and get yourself in a situation where this kind of situation, one-on-one, you're going in, yes, you get a bit of luck there, but you're capable of soaking that pressure up, and you've got the players, you've got the pace, you've got the capability to go up the other end. And as much as this is very fortunate because it's come off of Shah, this is what you're capable of doing, because Newcastle have to go at you, and you have to you have to be able to get the ball, get the other end, and hurt them. And that's what we've done there, and that really did take the wind out of Newcastle's sails.
Yeah. No, Newcastle had to push on. They had to go in search of that goal, and they're always going to leave situations where they were going to be one-on-one. They did then, and again, they got punished.
12th away win of the season then in Arsenal's pocket. We hope to speak to Mikel Arteta. Welcome back. So Arsenal have kept their title hopes alive. The situation is now they're within 1 point of City. City have 4 to play. Arsenal have 3 to play. Let's remind you who exactly they do play. Arsenal, of course, concentrating on those 3 remaining Premier League games, at home to Brighton, away at Forest, and at home to Wolves. City with Everton away, sandwiched in between the 2 Champions League semi-finals against Real Madrid. Then Chelsea at home, Brighton away, Brentford away, and of course the cup final at Wembley against Manchester United. Are you seeing any chink of light at the end of the tunnel when you look at City's fixtures?
Absolutely, especially with that performance there. We have to win those 3 games: Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves. But yes, you have to fancy them to beat Everton. But then
they didn't at home.
No, they didn't.
They lost to Brentford at home.
Yeah, so you're looking at that. I can see something. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's wishful thinking, but I could see something. Whether it's Brighton or Brentford, you only need one of those games where they only get a point or they lose a game, and then, like I say, Arsenal know what they've got to do. They've got to win the games. So that's all we can focus on.
Yeah, they've done their job today. It's what they had to do. It was always going to be a tough game for them. What they've said to Man City now is, over to you. Tough fixtures for them. Everton away, Brighton, Brentford. They're not easy games, particularly when you're fighting on 3 fronts, and also with maybe the biggest in their mind in terms of the Champions League.
Yeah.
And you're going up against one of the giants in Real Madrid, so you just never know. Arsenal have done what they had to do today, and they've...
See what their manager thinks. Here's Eddie Howe.
Well, Eddie, that's a tense, top-level game you've been involved in. How did you see it?
Fine margins for us today. Just came out on the wrong side of them. Missed some chances, some big chances in the game. Yeah, just wasn't quite there for us today. It could have been. And it's one of those, I'm sure I'll look back and rue some big moments in the game that we didn't quite get right.
In particular, look at that first 10 minutes maybe and think that was the sliding doors moment of the match.
Yeah, I think, you know, Jacob's chance in the first few seconds, if that goes in, it's a totally different game. Loads of little things I think that we'll look back on and go, it could have fallen our way, it didn't. But we have to take ownership of that, and we're disappointed today. Felt we probably didn't defend as well as we have done for the majority of the season today. There was a few moments where I thought we were a little bit loose. But we gave everything. I agree with your comment. It's a high-level game. I thought it was two teams that were going right at each other. And I think that produced a good spectacle. But we're disappointed to lose.
Now you'd see it?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was two teams going for the win, giving everything. And there was a lot of chances in the first half. We hit the post. But, yeah, the game was about fine margins today. And, yeah, and Arsenal took the chances.
How much of a game changer is the first goal?
Yeah, it's crucial, especially the different direction that both clubs are going in. One's going for the title, the other one's going for the top four, so the first goal is always crucial. But we was on the front foot start of the game. We went after Arsenal, and yeah, we had chance after chance, but yeah, like I said, Arsenal was more clinical than us today.
On first viewing, obviously the referee thinks you've got a penalty. Yeah. You seem to be in and around it. What did you think?
No, to be honest with you, I couldn't see anything. There was a lot of bodies. A few of the lads said it hit the hand, but I've still not seen it back, so I can't really comment on that.
What did you make of the Newcastle performance overall?
Yeah, I thought, you know, it was I'd say it's a different type of performance to Villa. There's ways of getting beat. I think against Villa we wasn't at it at all. But today we went for Arsenal. We had chances, created chance after chance. But I think we in the moments where we could have defended better. You know, the first goal when we should have got out quicker to stop it. But you know, there's no excuses. We've got another massive game against Leeds now. Did it feel like it was close at least to boiling over, and should we expect that when it's two teams with so much to play for? Yeah, definitely. You know, it's two teams going after it, you know, for different reasons, as I said before, and it was a high tempo game, and emotions are going to be there. You know, we both teams want to win, but yeah, it was a tough game today. But now we move on. You know, we've got to forget about the result today and focus on Leeds now. Yeah, and how important is it that you keep looking at that big picture? You're still in a great position. Yeah, we're in a good position, but we can't, you know, let this result affect us. We've got 4 big games left now, and now we just need to review this game, look where we can do better, and.
Position maintenant. Alors que se passe-t-il? Le buteur Hakim Ziyech est resté au sol.